Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Urza. So today we'll be going over Magic the Gathering top 10 engine cards. And now at number 10. With the first one being on our list is Sequence Engine from Commander 2021. It's a rare, going for a whopping 15 cents on the market at the time of this video. Basically costs 3 mana to put into play. Exile target creature card with a mana value of X from a graveyard. Create a 0/0 green blue fractal creature token. Put X+1 counters on it, activate this only as a sorcery. So, while at number 10, it's an artifact, it's not an enchantment. So there's more cards that destroy artifacts, and it's nothing special. It's just a green-blue fractal creature. There's nothing absolutely special. It's just put a creature into play. That's it. That's why it's at number 10. So let's move on to number 9. Which is Witch Engine from Urza Saga. It's a rare going for just 39 cents on the market. Well, this 6 mana casting horror is a 4/4, has Swamp Walk, so that's actually kind of cool. And it says add 4 to your mana pool, target opponent gains control of Witch Engine. So that could also backfire, but that's a really cool, unique ability where it has a Swamp Walk and add 4 mana built within the creature. It's really unique, I'll just say. But it's at 9 because, well, it does go back to the opponent. 6 for a 4/4 Swamp Walk. There are better cards than that. So let's move on to number 8. Well, we got a good old classic card, Contagion Engine. It's from various sets, being common or rare. Believe it or not, it was common and then it went to rare for 27 cents. I can't believe it at the time of this video. Well, this card costs 3 mana, but it's a 1/3. The reason why I guess it was rare is because it costs 2 mana to give it +1/+0 until end of turn, and there is no cap on that. So basically you can pump it up as much mana as you have. And it's actually kind of a cool picture from the antiquities anyway. So let's move on to number 7. Which I will probably say wrong, but Shorika, a Genesis Engine. It's from Neon Dynasty Commander, where it's a mythic going for $4.02 at the time of this video. So it costs 4 mana for this 8/8. Really cool with the crew 8, obviously. And can't be your commander. So it does target, obviously, from the commander decks that you want to make. Pay 1, draw 2 cards, and discard a card. Create a 1/1 pilot creature token with this creature crew's vehicle as though it had the power 2 or greater, which is actually very beneficial, but there are other cards from Neon Dynasty that would help a lot better than this ability. So let's move on to number 6. Which is Dampening Engine from Urza's Legacy. It's a rare going for 67 cents on the market. This artifact costs 4 mana. Basically, it's a very cool picture because it's done by RK Post, one of my favorite artists in the Magic world. Basically, this card says, a player who controls more permanents than any other cannot play lands or artifact creatures or enchantment spells. That player may sacrifice a permanent to ignore this effect until end of turn. So it's really cool. Backfire, could backfire. You can have fun with this card. That's what I'll just say. So let's move on to number 5, halfway down the list. Which is another artifact creature dragon legendary engine card, which is called Ramos Contagion Engine. It's from Commander 2017, being a mythic with an average price of $15.83. It costs 6 mana for this 4/4 flyer, but whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 on counter for engine for each of that spell's colors. Remove 5 +1/+1 counters from Ramos. Add that much mana to your mana pool. Activate this ability once each turn. So this is actually very, very cool because there are certain cards where you can win the game if you have multicolored creatures of every color. So you can actually sack it, put them into play because of the ability for this Contagion Engine, and then cast. If you have that card, you win the game. Other than that, it's kind of annoying and cool and everything at the same time. So let's move on to number 4. And now we're starting to get to some of the good cards that are actually playable in the Magic world. This one is called Wormcoil Engines from various sets, being mythic, and an average price of $22.66. Well, what makes this awesome card is, well, it costs 6 mana for 6/6, pretty standard, but it also has Death Touch and Lifelink. And then when it dies, you get to create a token for either the Death Touch and Lifelink, making them 3/3s. That's really awesome. You gain life, or you can kill their creatures no matter what. It's just 6 for this, all this for just 6 mana. You can't beat that. So let's move on to number 3. Well, it's Contagion Engine from Scars of Mirrodin. It's a rare going for $13.94. Again, another one that costs 6 mana, surprisingly. But when it enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature target player controls, which is fine and dandy. It doesn't mean anything. But it does have proliferate and then proliferate again, so that could not just attack those counters on the enemies, it could affect on certain counters that you have already on other creatures. This is why it's at number 3, is because you can really have fun and play around with this card, doing actually a lot of damage. So this is a very playable card in the real Magic world. Let's move on to number 2, which is Paradox Engine from Aether Revolt, being a mythic and only $5.66. This one is actually one of my favorite cards. I really like the artwork, and I actually played this a lot when it was standard. It basically says, whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. So, well, that just gives you free mana every turn. That's why I think this card is very powerful. It does cost 5 mana, but you can really do a lot of damage, in my opinion, that you can do with this card. So let's move on to number 1. Well, this amazing card is Lithoform Engine from Zendikar Rising. It's a mythic, like most at the top 10 of this list, is $11.41 on this market. Costs 4 manas, which is about 1 better than most artifacts. Basically costs 2 mana. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets, or pay 3 mana, instant or sorcery, and 5 copy target permanent spell you control. Very versatile, so you can just have 2 mana and copy that activate ability. And with everything on that list, you know how damaging this artifact can do to an opponent. I won't go into detail, but you can know how this universally card is just absolutely amazing. And that is all the cards we have for the top 10 engine, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.